So how do you create a good Rumi wig? No idea, but we're going to do it together, so let's go! Like I'm ought to be. Hello friends, my name is Stephanie Lee-Harper, aka Super Steph, and I have a problem with Rumi wigs. This is one of them right now. It cost about $140, and we have a problem because they are too small and they're too flipping heavy. So I'm going to see if we can work this out while we do this video. Basically, so you can work it out too and stick it on your party host's head. So the first thing, I bought this from a place called Wig Fashion, and it's actually a pretty good Rumi wig. But the problem with a lot of these wigs is they're made in China, and people in China usually have smaller heads, especially the women. Also on here as well, if you have a look, they've got these wig things here. Can you see this here? This is usually meant to tighten up, but what they've done is they've just sewn a piece, so you can't extend it or anything like that. They're totally pointless. But who has a head smaller than this? Unless you're 7. We've also got these as well, these little hooks that go into your hair. Now, there's 1, 2, 3 only. This is quite normal for wigs, but I think we need to dig all of those hooks into our hair and actually sew a few more of these on here, because the weight of this heavy thing is just too much for one person's hair to sort of bear in 1 or 2 or 3 places. You're going to go bald. Also on top of this, when I did this, I made this look like a beautiful dragon braid. It took me about an hour. And yes, it sort of looks still okay, which is great. It's been out once though, but look at her hair. She looks like she's got home after a drunk night out and been doing naughty things like the pigeons up against the bins. Now this is a laced front wig, which always looks great, but you know what, unless you're actually sticking it down properly like you're in a show, it's a little bit pointless. I sort of like the hard fronts, but it came with a lace front, so I just chopped the thing off. I bet some wig people are going, no, don't chop the thing off, but that's what I did because I don't know what to do with it. So this was my first prototype and it doesn't work, it's too small. So we're going to have another go at trying to make this better. Now the thing I'm going to do first is sew these things. I bought these from eBay and I'm going to sew a few more onto here to hook into my own hair. Okay, so I've sewn these in here, if you can have a look. I've sewn in a lot of these little combs like this, hoping that I'll be able to hook all the way around my hair while I put it on. The other thing I've done is, I will have a look, I'm going to try and, it feels really tight here, so I'm going to try and just pull it a little bit and see if it gives. I think I've messed it up. Okay, so I've messed that up. I thought it would be a good idea to pull at the seams and just make them a little bit looser, but of course I've just undone the seaming. So if you have a look here, you'll probably notice that it's all coming away. But that's okay, because I've got a sewing machine and I'll fix it. All right, so the sewing machine didn't go well. It looks like Rumi has had some sort of brain surgery. If you have a look, I've got this. Oh my goodness. Luckily, it's sort of round here. I don't know if that's gonna work. I shall just have to walk around a lot, really fast, like this, not move. Stop moving, Rumi. I can't let anyone see my brain surgery scar. Now the reason also why this seems so small is because I put this on a head. This is the head that I used. It actually looks bigger than my head. It is bigger than my head, so why is this not fitting on my head when it fitted on theirs? I need to make this work because I've got 3 others of these and it cost me 600 Australian dollars. I think the main thing to do is get rid of this thing. I think it's pulling too tight and making this turn into a sort of a skull cap more than like a rounded shell. So I think what I need to do is snip this off, put it on my head, probably take all of this off because now it's going to have this weird lump in the back, and then start from scratch. I hate my life sometimes. If you've never used a wig net before, I prefer these ones because it's like a sleeve, because you can put it all the way down like a big snood, you know, like doctors use this snood, and then you can pull it up and get most of your hair. So you take this. I like this bit being at this part here. I like to feel like it's secure, so I put it down that way down like this. And then put it all the way up. Help me. Let's go, bank rubbers. All right, now I don't put my hair up. I just let it up as much as possible like this. And then I put my head upside down and try and get it to fall around. So I don't want it at the back like this. I want it to fall straight on top. So there we go. And then I tuck it in at the back like that, and I try and make it as sort of around my head as possible rather than in a big ball. If you put a big ponytail in it, what will happen is you'll just get this big lump at the back, and that's where all the wig can't sort of like get round it. So you need to make it as round as possible, just like you've got a big head like this. If this helped, click like and subscribe down below, and I will give you some more Super Steph's ideas on how to run a small business. And if you want to become a kids entertainer, I've also got a really good guide on how to be the best entertainer and make lots of money with it down here. Just comment below, give me the guide, and I'll send it to you. Now, if you've got hair like mine and it's fly away, you've got to make sure you put all the bits and pieces like this. The problem is, if you are doing character shows and you're doing them well, this means that you've got probably 4 different characters a day on a weekend. So you need to get in and out of a wig fast. There's none of this, I'm going to be doing 2 hours of prep on my wig and hairspraying it. No, you're doing it in the car, like this, trying to stick it on with your wing mirror. Can't get it on right. And then they expect you to turn up looking like a cartoon character. And that's why you need to be a good performer, just to pull it off. I've seen performers who are really pretty and they do a really good job, but they're few and far between. Most, you either get a good performer that looks a bit scruffy, or you get a pretty girl that can't perform for toffee. Okay, so now what I've done is I have taken off that band. I wanted the band at the top so that it would stay high. I didn't want the whole like fantasy thing because it would take too long. And as soon as you put it in the car next to you on the passenger seat, do you know what will happen? It'll just get messy. Or you're running around with a whole load of kids. We're not standing there doing this. Hey boys, get a kids? We're there running around with the kids playing parachute, and so that's why it's not looking exactly like Rumi. I'm going to put it on with all these combs and see what happens. Now, because I've got these as well, I'm just going to get rid of these because it's too small anyway. It's not going to help me. So if they're sticking out, I'm going to cut them off. This is the lace front. This goes at the front. But I'm going to try and do it from the back. So I'm going to take the furthest one and pin it as far back as I can, like that. And then I'm going to stretch it from underneath, and it's really heavy from the front, and dig these stupid things in. Oh my goodness. I'm doing this right in front of you rather than a mirror because you can guarantee that there's not going to be a pretty mirror when you're trying to do this in the car as a kids performer. So I need to make sure that this is easy for my performers. This aches. Oh. All right, so I'm taking it down there and I'm feeding it back up into my skin. I swear I had more than one clip that I just sewn in, so I have to find them with my hand. Ugh. Oh, I can't see jack because I haven't even got my glasses. Oldest looking Rumi ever. Hello darling, I think I'm round to Grandma's for coffee. All right, so it's still really heavy at the moment. I could probably do a 1 hour show in this without getting a headache. Oh, there's my mirror and I'm too short. When you're working with party hosts, they do sometimes the bare minimum. And there's some people out there who look like amazing Rumis, and they will work their butt off in the mornings to make themselves look amazing. And then there's people like me who just stick it on their head within 5 minutes of going out. So I have to make it for those people. And if you want a puppet to start with, then go to Puppets, spelled P-U-B-B-E-T-S. They're the ones that sponsored these videos, and go to there. They're good enough to go out as a professional kids entertainer when you're starting off. And they are such good quality and the most affordable puppets. This dragon braid is not good enough for a working business. It's got to be just a plait. Now it does feel way more secure that I've put all of those tiny little combs and sewn them in. It feels like it's not as heavy, but it's going to be really heavy when I'm jumping around, or someone else younger than me is jumping around. Hi! Hi! Hi kids! You can feel the weight on it. It feels like literally someone's pulling your ponytail. So this is a top tip. You get these massive big safety pins from AliExpress. They're like this big. I've got some downstairs. And you take your Rumi jacket, you thread it underneath, and you thread it onto here, into the hairband, and then you thread it back through itself, so this stays completely still the whole time. Oh, so it's only this bit moving rather than this juggling up and down. So get something also that's the same colour as close as you can to the hair, so it sort of gels in. I've got to get all of this smick. I've got to have a look at the back as well though, because it might look like a rat's nest at the back. So we're going to do the old dirty mirror with the other dirty mirror test. I'm not going to change that. So now I'm going to just put a whole load of gel in here and just really make sure that there's none of this like crackhead look of hair coming out. Now I do have this yellow hairspray. Someone recommended me, it's downstairs. I can't be bothered to go downstairs. So I'm going to get some of my husband's Dominate wax. Another top tip from what I've learned, these are just my blondie coloured hair clips, is get ones of the same colour and it will blend in more. Don't just get black hair clips and start sticking them in. You look like that poor girl that got bullied when she was in 3rd grade. Hi, do you like my skin tag? If you have a look around, and I'll put some clips under here. So a big thumbs up for putting those little zigzaggy clips in, because that's so much easier than trying to clip it individually with a whole load of bobby pins. Anyway, so I hope you liked it, and if I have any better updates, I will attach it to this video, because this is a half-assed attempt. Now, did this video go as well as I planned? No. Did you learn something? Probably yes. One is to get a better job than being a Rumi impersonator. Now, if you like this video, have a look over here on a day in the life of a magician. Thanks so much, friends. Bye. Bye.